The purpose of this video is to provide baseline procedures to be used when packaging classified materials for transmission or transportation of envelopes and small parcels. Though all demonstrations are done using envelopes, the same basic rules apply for small parcels. Classified materials must be prepared for transmission or transportation. They are to be packaged and sealed in a way that minimizes the risk of accidental exposure and facilitates detection of deliberate tampering. Authorization for these methods can be found in DoD and industrial security policies. Links to these resources are available on the Defense Security Services webpage. Your specific program and component guidelines may also specify enhanced requirements. Preparation. Prevent classified documents from coming in direct contact with the inner wrapper where there is a risk of exposure through image transfer. To avoid direct contact between classified text and the inner wrapper, you can use a document cover sheet to provide protection and to indicate the classification level of the documents. Use Standard Form 703 for top secret documents, Standard Form 704 for secret documents, or Standard Form 705 for confidential documents. To begin, select the proper document cover sheet and place it face up on top of the classified document. Since this document is classified as confidential, the blue confidential cover sheet should be selected. If your document has text or images on both sides, then both sides must be protected. Other ways to protect the classified document text from image transfer are unclassified transmittal letters, cardboard, and opaque or non-transparent paper. If the document only has text or images on one side, and there is no cover sheet available, or if the envelope you are using is smaller than the size of the document, you can fold the document in half with the text facing inward. When receipts are required, enclose them in the inner wrapper and maintain a suspense copy of the receipt until the signed copy is returned. The receipt shown here is for demonstration purposes only. Inner wrapper. Once the classified material has been prepared, it must be protected with 2 layers of durable opaque wrapping or packing material so that no one can see the material inside. The first layer is the inner wrapper. This could be an opaque envelope or other opaque wrapping material. Place the prepared material within the proper size opaque inner wrapper. Inner seal. After placing the classified material and receipt, if required, in the opaque inner wrapper, carefully seal the inner wrapper. The use of reinforced gum tape is recommended to facilitate the detection of deliberate tampering and to prevent accidental exposure that may occur during transit. All seams should be sealed. Inner address. Put the complete return address in the upper left-hand corner of the inner wrapper. If you use a prepared label, be sure to press down firmly to prevent the label from coming loose. Always verify the receiving activity's mailing address prior to transmission. Some contractors and activities may have a specific mailing address for the receipt of classified materials, or their address may have changed. If the package is being sent to a cleared DoD contractor, the address could be verified online through the Industrial Security Facilities Database, or ISFD. You can get to the ISFD through the Defense Security Service website. Address the inner wrapper to an official government activity or DoD contractor. It's recommended that the address on all inner wrappers contain the name and office symbol of the intended recipient to expedite accurate delivery. Because the individual opening the outer wrapper may not be the intended recipient, it is essential to properly address the inner wrapper so that they will be able to immediately identify the intended recipient. Inner marking. Mark the inner wrapper with the highest level of classification information that it contains. These markings should be located at the top and bottom on all accessible sides of the inner wrapper. Include additional markings for any special types of handling instructions on the inner wrapper. With proper markings on the inner wrapper, whoever opens the mail will be able to immediately identify the level of classification and special handling. Outer wrapper. As noted earlier, classified information must be transmitted or transported in 2 layers of protection, and, like the first or inner layer, the second or outer layer must be opaque so that no one can see the material inside. The outer layer must also be durable enough to protect the material from damage or accidental observation during transmission or transportation. During transmission, the package's only physical protection is the integrity of the wrapper. Opaque envelopes, corrugated cardboard, and heavyweight craft paper are possible outer packaging materials. The outer wrapper needs to be large enough to contain the inner wrapper with limited free space. It's important to minimize the movements of the inner wrapper to prevent any shift in contents from compromising the seams of the outer wrapper. Insert the inner wrapper into the outer wrapper. Outer seal. Like the inner wrapper, the outer wrapper must be sealed to prevent accidental exposure during transit. The use of reinforced gum tape is recommended to facilitate the detection of deliberate tampering and to prevent accidental exposure that may occur during transit. Reinforced gum tape can also help increase the integrity of the seal on the wrapper, especially when the contents are heavy. Outer address. Put the complete return address in the upper left-hand corner of the outer wrapper. If you use a prepared label, be sure to press down firmly to prevent the label from coming loose. Address the outer wrapper to an official government activity or DoD contractor, making sure that the address label is legible. The address should have already been verified from a previous step. Do not address it to an individual's name on the outer wrapper. Office codes, numbers, or phrases in the address line are permissible. Outer marking. The outer wrapper shouldn't have any classification markings or special handling instructions indicating its contents are classified. Refer to the guidance given in the shipping section to see if your package is authorized for transmission using U.S. Postal Service first-class mail. If so, the outer wrapper needs to be marked Postmaster Do Not Forward. Shipping. It is advisable to confirm that an authorized person will be able to receive the material. Authorization for these methods can be found in DoD and Industrial Security Policy, as well as in the DSSA Transmission and Transportation courses. These resources are located on the Defense Security Services webpage, where you can find relevant policies as well as the current course catalog. Please note that your specific program and component guidelines may also specify enhanced requirements. Summary. Classified packages must be prepared for transmission and transportation by preparing, packaging, sealing, and addressing them properly. By following the procedures outlined in this video, you will minimize the risk of accidental exposure and facilitate the detection of deliberate tampering of classified materials during transmission and transportation.